We had no favorites, so we looked at all the major manufacturers extensively, and it wasn't just on price. VR prints is in labels and packaging. We extensively in the agrichem, animal health and pharmaceutical sectors, and we obviously print your single ply self-adhesive labels, we do extended content labels, and we offer a total tailor-made packaging solution for our clients. We've got 41 employees here at the moment. We've got another 6 that will be joining us obviously when the new press arrives. So there'll be quite a growth in our complement. So we expect by the end of next year that we should be over 50, but at the moment we're 41. We've got a great team. We are extending our capacity going analog. We're obviously in front of the face of the customer all the time, and we've been listening very closely to certain issues that they have with the labels that are printed flexo. And we feel that we're coming from a fresh approach, so it's a fresh pair of eyes looking at a process which I'm sure we're all aware of is still the majority process, so how most of your labels are printed. So we're taking all the good and all the things we've learned about digital, and we're applying that to an analog press with a high degree of automation, and we're going to see if we can try and get them as close to somebody not being able to tell the difference whether this has been digitally printed or flexo printed, obviously under the naked eye, not under a loop. But that's the goal. We're very, very excited about it. There's no bad machines, and I think we've all got a very good idea of where digital printing is at the moment and what the limitations are. And I think it needs to be a partnership, so strong representation of that brand and a trusted and long relationship in those markets. So I think you've got to look at who can really service you, who can give you that sort of backup. And we're very fortunate, as I mentioned earlier, we've got a great supplier who looks after us. I don't think there's a bad machine, but I think you do need to pick a machine that you've got good representation, get spare parts, get the advice, get the help that you need. So it's very much a partnership rather than just the equipment. It does extend a lot further than that. The spot over here to my right will be where our new Nilpeter FA-Line 17-inch multi-substrate press is going to come in. And as I mentioned earlier, obviously it's going to be in a completely climate-controlled, sterile environment in its own room. We feel we can better control the press conditions. So we've spec'd the room a bit bigger, and we are planning on adding possibly another 1 or 2 flexo units down the line as our flexo operation expands. So yeah, we're looking forward to it coming and being installed by the end of February next year. And a new exciting project for VR Print. We're happy with our growth. It's actually a lot higher, a lot more inflated than what we thought it would be. Obviously, we've been very fortunate that there's been a huge demand for labels over the pandemic. So we've taken a more conservative approach in the growth going forward, and we also like to consolidate at certain points in time. And for us, customer retention is also extremely important. So when we're looking at growth, are we retaining our existing customers? And then again, are we growing in the markets that we want to, the markets that we feel that we specialize and we can offer something different? But we're experiencing lovely growth at the moment, and I think again it's the whole team behind us and the people that we've partnered with. So yeah, we've through digital and converting our VCLs, we're now going into flexo. So we're expecting a nice uptick in business and growth. I think the market for labels and flexible packaging is very buoyant at the moment. For some reason, the South African market doesn't seem to have been too badly affected with a lot of the shortage that we're seeing at the moment or the disruptions in the supply chain. We definitely are taking market share away from our competitors, not to take anything away from them. They're good companies. We're very hungry, we're very dynamic. We go in there, we sell really hard, and we deliver on what we say. And I think with the unique equipment and technologies we have within this company, and the business development into these markets, we're definitely seeing inroads in those areas where people are looking for a specialist as opposed to a run-of-the-mill of a commercial printer. So rather than just selling you a label and commoditizing it, we sell you the full package. So that, I think, is enabling us to take quite a bit of market share at the moment, and that's something we have for we have for our customers 24/7, 365. I think the criteria nowadays is, obviously the quality's got to be, the lead times have got to be there, and you've got to be delivering at a competitive price. So you have to run lean. You've got to look at wastage. You've got to look at efficiencies. But pretty much everyone's doing that at the moment. So one of the things that we look at is can certain markets that have been traditionally serviced by whatever printers, is there an opportunity that exists in those markets? Can we do what they're doing, but can we do it better? And then also, hand in hand with that, are there new product offerings that we can bring to the market, or who can we work with, in terms of packaging developments? So once we've identified, in where we want to go, which markets we want to grow in, then we begin obviously a selection of equipment. It's very hard in the beginning to set an exact capex until you've obviously put everything together. There's too many variables. So once we've done extensive research, and that could involve flying around the world, going to plants, having a look at equipment. So it's normally quite a tedious process. We'll then come back, and then we'll obviously look at the total cost of investment, the capex, and then we'll look at what our return of investment's going to be, and then we look at various other risks. For example, not only the equipment that we were investing in, but currently at the moment, what is the South African market like? It's a bit of a catch-22, because analysis paralysis. If you think about everything that can go wrong all the time, and if you're overly cautious, you're going to be too late to market. You're not going to develop the full potential of your business. So I think it does become a point where you've got to kind of trust now. Right? We've been doing this for a while now. We know what we're doing. We've got the right partners around us. We've invested in the right equipment. We've done our homework. Yes, we're going to learn as we grow, but then go ahead and push the button. So that would be my advice. Do your research, do your due diligence. I think if you do that properly, and if you spend your time on that, and you spend your money wisely, and then you understand that it has to be driven from the top down, I don't think people can then really go wrong. Well, obviously Nilpeter is a household name, as we know, in terms of flexo presses. So we always knew about Nilpeter, as what we do with all the other major brands. We had been hearing over the past couple of years of a lot of new FA lines that obviously come into the market, and very good reports about them. We actually did extensive research. We had no favorites, so we looked at all the major manufacturers extensively, and it wasn't just on price. We felt that with us coming from digital, what press suits that mindset the best? What is going to be the most user-friendly? What's going to be the most digital? What's going to attract new young talent to the business? What's going to make us basically almost digital flexo? And we didn't find anything that came close to the Nilpeter. And obviously, being an established company that are probably one of the best in the world, we felt very, very confident with going with them. And obviously, their local agent in South Africa, again with fantastic reputation. So it was a very easy decision for us to make in the end, but a lot of research went into it, and we actually came back and we were impressed with it when we began the due diligence, and at the end of it we were even more impressed. We had even more faith in going ahead with which is probably one of the biggest investments that the company's ever made. I'd say about 36 months. And that's looking at it conservatively. We're an established company in terms of what we do, but in terms of long run flexo, we're a little bit of an unknown, but I also think that it gives us a bit of an advantage. So when we looked at working out the return on investment, it wasn't just a thumbsuck or a figure that was good, the number that we wanted to see. We obviously had a meeting with our sales director, and we thought, okay, well, how do we structure the business development around the press to actually achieve that? what sectors, what markets do you want to be at? How are we going to sell our labels compared to everyone else? Who do you think will value what we can offer as a company and the knowledge? So, and then we also had to look at who's available in the market, obviously nationally, to assist us in achieving that growth. And we identified some people who've obviously got the same vision that we do for this business. So it was very calculated again, and I think we need to work on figures and not emotions when we make these sorts of purchases. So I think flexo now, in terms of technology, might, and I'm not an expert, but I don't think we're going to see massive leaps forward. There might be little increments. So I think now developing the operator and the systems around the press to get that uptime and that consistent quality, I think that is what we're going to focus at on our press. I think what we're able to do is we even have a color management system coming in that's obviously going to ensure that whether I'm printing it digital, whether I'm printing it flexo, that you're not going to be able to see the difference. So I think there's going to be a great synergy. I mean, we're going to carry on pushing digital in those areas where we feel we can do that. And then again, as a new player in the flexo market, we're going to bring that mindset from digital, and we're going to basically see if we can't running digital and flexo side by side, like I mentioned early on, that you can't really tell the difference in the quality. And also when we look at the uptime of our digital press versus our flexo press, that it's going to be very, very close.